like they're a guy on the inside. So in our society, there are very typical things that make us appear female or male, breast being a huge one. So a lot of these people may bind their breast down every day for their entire lifetime in order to fit into what society says a man looks like. So what I wanted to do is kind of put my audience in this position of seeing what it might be like, not over just a lifetime, but I'm kind of compressing that into an hour. So the live performance was really important because I had the audience there and you got to see, as time went on, as every time I ripped the tape off, there was kind of an abrasion building up on my skin. So it got more and more sore and more kind of red as it went on. And I think it put the audience in that position of seeing not just the physical pain that transgendered people may undergo, but the mental space as well. I can't imagine what it must be like for to feel like you're in the wrong body. I don't know if any of us could really know what it's like. But this piece hopefully puts you in that position of seeing what it could be like. So I wanted to move on to the next piece. I started out doing photography, and lately I have kind of jumped into the performance realm a bit. So this was a piece that I did at Connor Contemporary Art in Washington, D.C., and my research with the transgendered people kind of brought me one day into thinking about the idea of hate crimes that were specifically used against gay, lesbian, bi, and trans individuals. And as I was researching, I wanted to find this list. I wanted to know how many people have ever been murdered due to a hate crime. I wanted a very specific list. I wanted names, dates, what happened. And as I was researching, I couldn't find this list anywhere. The FBI does collect data, but the data is incomplete because they don't require individual states to report the statistics. States can report, but they don't have to. So I started compiling my own list off of internet sources, off of maybe family members who had someone who was actually murdered and it was labeled a hate crime. So I compiled a list of 438 names. And as I was compiling this list, I not only was finding names, dates, but I was also reading about the crimes that were happening. And these crimes a lot of times are very brutal. And I saw over and over again that not only was a victim murdered, but their body was defaced. Sometimes people would carve in dyke or faggot were two really popular things for the body to be done to the body. So I thought a nice relationship would be to have these 438 names tattooed on my body, but with no ink. So this is the start of this performance. I started with the word anonymous to signify that this was my list that I found, that I definitely did not find every single name. And then alphabetical order, we just started from the top and went down. So this was tattooed with no ink, so what you're seeing now is blood raising up, but this isn't necessarily a permanent thing. And as the tattoo was done, I had someone place a note card on the fresh tattoo, and what happened was a contact print, basically out of blood. So you saw a list compiling on my body, you saw a list that the tattoo artist was working from, and you also saw a list that was compiling on the gallery wall, and of course it came out backwards. And this is an installation shot of how it happened. The performance lasted over 11 hours. We began at 6 at night and we invited viewers to come in. I thought it was important for people to see this firsthand. But as the night went on, we did ask people to leave the gallery, but it was webcast. Again, I thought it was important that people could actually see the entire performance. But this also was a very long night, and I needed a little bit of time to reflect on what was happening without such a crowd around.